Log on to the IBM portal. You will start with the dashboard. Click on the catalog. On the left-hand pane, you can scroll down and see the components that you can order. From compute, containers, networking, storage, AI, analytics, databases, developer tools, integration, Internet of Things, security and identity, starter kits, web and mobile, and web and application components. Click on Docs to get detailed information on each. There will be information on build, on manage, and on the tools that are required to work with the platform. In addition, you can click on All Docs and find documentation on any IBM Cloud component you may be working on. Click on the Support tab. Here's where you can get information about getting support on the IBM Cloud. You can reach us many ways: by email, phone number, and by chat. However, you may find your answer here or by searching the docs. To manage your account, click on Manage Account. Click on Best Practices for information on setting up your environment, Resource Groups on organizing your cloud components, Cloud Foundry orgs, and Tags, which is another way to group and easily find your IBM components. You can click on the audit log to track storage replication events and other settings that you are tracking. You can click on Account Settings and get information specific to your account, including promo codes that you can add. There's an area for company contacts, and you can click on Company Profile to get specific information on your company that you have listed. For billing and usage, you have information on your billing items, as well as payment information. You can see automatic payments as well as manual payments that have been made. All of your invoices are listed here, and subscriptions will soon be added to this portal. Under the Sales tab, you can get information on quotes that you may have saved and on your past orders. Also, anything that you cancel will show up here. You can also set up spending notifications when your spending reaches a certain threshold. For authorization access, click on Manage and Authorization and click on Access Groups. There are many ways to secure and authorize your devices and services on the IBM Cloud. You can create groups, and also there is a two-factor authentication option. You can also generate an estimate by clicking on the estimator tool, and you simply go to the catalog. In this example, we'll show a Kubernetes service that we want to price for, and we will click on the Create button, and here you will see the many options that we have when we buy any cloud service. So for this example, we're going to put our server in Dallas, and we're going to assign it to a resource group called Demo, and the cluster type will be standard. And we want high availability, so we are going to select the multi-zone, and we're going to go ahead and put our servers in 3 locations in Dallas. And you can see over on the right-hand frame that as we add things, the monthly estimate is calculating. Also, we have an option to configure the version of Kubernetes. We'll just stay with the default. And we also have the option for the different hardware. So we'll just select the bare metal and the 16-core server. And we want 4 worker nodes. So within the 3 zones, that will give us 12 worker nodes. You can see we're up to 17,000. And that is our estimate for this environment. There's also an announcements feature, which will show you any announcements that IBM makes if they're making changes to the cloud environment. And you have the option to set up to receive these by email. In addition, under the notifications, you can see the planned maintenance on the cloud that may or may not impact you. And you can see the status. So if you're ever experiencing issues, you can come in here first and check the status to see if anything's going on with the cloud unit that you're operating in. You can select on your profile image to get information about your account. And now we'll click on the navigation menu up in the upper left-hand corner, and you can see there's options here to manage your environment once you have services procured. So first we're going to show the Cloud Foundry management dashboards. And you can see public application or your enterprise environment. Also, there's an option for a quick start, which is a step-by-step tutorial on getting started with Cloud Foundry. And here's where you can see your Cloud Foundry applications, as well as any services associated to your setup. Next, we'll look at the Kubernetes dashboard. Now, we don't have any clusters created right now. However, you could create the cluster right from this screen if you wanted to, or you could go back through the catalog. And there are a lot of documentations that you can read to help get you started. Also, you can set up your registry here. Again, there's a quick start with step-by-step instructions on getting the IBM Cloud CLI developer tools, Docker, CLI, and a lot of step-by-step instructions. Also, there are policy settings, and there are many, many Helm charts across the separate categories and across the separate architectures that you can reuse to accelerate your development. As you can see, you can select your architecture, your classification, your platform, and your repository. Let's go back to the navigation menu. And now let's look at the classic infrastructure management dashboards. Here you will be able to drill into many areas for devices, storage, network, security, and services. If you click on the device list, you will see all of the servers that you have procured and that are currently operating. If you click on one of those, this is where you will get into the finer details, and you can get information on configuration. This is a ESXi host, so it's going to show the virtual machines, monitoring setup, security, and passwords. As we scroll down, you can see specific information on the server itself, as well as the network. So this has a public, private, and a management network. And this is actually running with the NSX security. So if you click on bandwidth, for example, you can see the throughput, and you can see the time frame that the measurements are being pulled from. Also, you can get the server temperature and just some information about your server. And for monitoring, we only have service ping set up for the server. And you can click on the security button, and here is where you'll find anybody who has access to the server, and you will find the root and the IBM VM admin password. So we just looked at the devices. You can also see that you can manage passwords, images, SSH keys, scripts, and licenses here. If we click on storage, you can see the different types of storage: block, file, object, different ways to do data migration. And under the network, there are many bandwidth options, as well as options for your IP management and your load balancing. If you click on security, here's where you'll find information on the different scans, the security software, and the network security, such as firewalls, and any SSL certificates and orders. IBM also offers additional services for email delivery and even domain registration, where you can register your domain. So going back up to the navigation panel, let's go ahead and look at the VMware dashboard, where you can manage your VMware solutions. If you click on Deployed Instances, it will bring up the clusters and the vCenter server instances that you have procured and that are currently running. One great feature is you can reach the vCenter console right from the IBM portal. You just have to have the Adobe Flash Player up and running, as well as your VPN connected. You can also look at the separate services that you may have set up for backup or migration or disaster recovery, and you can see the upgrade options that are available. So in this example, we can see there's an upgrade for the NSX license. And you can also see the deployment history, everything that's happened to this server from the time that you purchased it. Anything within this cluster. So those are the 4 different management dashboards that you can see for the platform itself. So if we go back to the global navigation, we're going to go back to the dashboard. And we're going to select the profile picture. And we are going to log out. And this is the end of our navigation lesson for the IBM Cloud.